Hello class, welcome to SciChem. Here we are for another session of lecture number 3 of surface chemistry. Today we are going to deal with another new topic, that is catalysis. What is catalysis? In chemical kinetics we have already studied catalyst. So what is catalyst? Let us consider a reaction, decomposition of potassium chlorate. This decomposition reaction takes place at the temperature range of 653 to 873. This decomposition. If I add small amount of manganese dioxide, this reaction, if I add small amount of or 2 KClO3, 2 KCl presence of MnO2. It have been found that when small amount of manganese dioxide MnO2 is added, the decomposition not only becomes faster but also takes place at a much lower temperature, and the temperature range is around 473 to 670. So here manganese dioxide acts as a catalyst. So what is catalyst? Catalyst is a substance which can change the speed of a chemical reaction without itself undergoing any change in mass and chemical composition at the end of the reaction, and the phenomenon is known as catalysis. So what is catalyst? Catalyst is a substance which can change the speed of a chemical reaction without itself undergoing any change in mass and in chemical composition, and the phenomenon is called catalysis. So this is the new topic of surface chemistry. What is catalyst? Substance which alter the rate of chemical reaction and themselves remain chemically and quantitatively unchanged after the reaction is called catalyst, and the phenomenon of mechanism of catalysis is called catalysis. So before starting catalyst, we have already studied catalyst. Catalyst is of two types, that is positive catalyst and negative catalyst. So what are positive catalyst and negative catalyst? Catalyst which increases the rate of reaction. If a catalyst increases the speed of reaction, here by using positive catalyst, the reaction speed increases. By using negative catalyst, the reaction speed decreases. By using positive catalyst, reaction speed increases, and by using negative catalyst, reaction speed decreases. It is due to increase or decrease in activation energy. For example, if we consider N2 plus 3H2 gives rise to 2NH3, by adding iron the reaction becomes faster. So here iron acts as a positive catalyst. If we store chloroform in a bottle, within with a few days or 30 days, it will disappear or vaporizes. Why? Chloroform reacts with oxygen to give COCl2 and HCl in presence of sunlight. So what we have to do in order to stop the consumption of chloroform, we have to add 2% ethyl alcohol. If we add 2% ethyl alcohol, then the rate of reaction of chloroform decreases with respect to oxygen. So here 2% ethyl alcohol acts as negative catalyst. So what are positive catalyst and negative catalyst? If a catalyst increases the speed of a reaction, it is called positive catalyst and the phenomenon is called positive catalysis. On the other hand, if a catalyst decreases the speed of a reaction, it is called negative catalyst and the phenomenon is called negative catalysis. So next part is our catalytic promoter and catalytic poison. So what are catalytic promoter and catalytic poisons? Catalytic promoters are those substance catalytic promoter are those substance which increases activity of catalyst, For example, let us consider reaction. Same reaction, nitrogen reacts with hydrogen to form ammonia. In this reaction, we are using iron as catalyst. In order to increase the activity of iron, we can use molybdenum. So here molybdenum acts as promoter, and molybdenum is the substance which increases the activity of iron. Since the activity of iron is greatly enhanced, so reaction becomes faster. Similarly, what are catalytic poison? Those substance which decreases activity of catalyst. Those substance which decreases activity of catalyst. Here we are using same equation. Let us consider nitrogen reacts with hydrogen to form ammonia, and we are using iron as catalyst. If we add a small amount of carbon monoxide, then rate of a reaction. How catalytic poison works? Simply, here what happens? This is the iron surface. If you are using molybdenum, then surface area increases. If you increase the surface area, adsorption also increases. If adsorption increases, rate of reaction also increases. But what happens in case of catalytic poison? Here adsorption of hydrogen occurs. Okay, here adsorption of hydrogen occurs. What happens in case of catalytic poison? Here let us consider the surface of iron. If you add a small amount of carbon monoxide, then carbon monoxide will preferentially adsorbed on iron surface. Since carbon monoxide preferably adsorbed on iron surface, so rate of reaction decreases as hydrogen would not adsorb on iron. Since carbon monoxide preferentially is being adsorbed on iron surface and hydrogen, and that does not facilitates for adsorption of hydrogen, so rate of reaction decreases. So what are catalytic promoter and catalytic poison? Thus those substance which increases activity of catalyst are called catalytic promoter. For example, simple case, uh, formation of ammonia, we are simple adding iron as catalyst. Molybdenum favors activates or enhance the catalytic activity of iron, where in case of a catalytic poison, those substance which decreases activity of catalyst are called catalytic poison. If you add small amount of carbon monoxide, then the rate of reaction is further suppressed. So we have again catalysis is of two types. One is homogeneous catalysis, another is heterogeneous. One is homogeneous catalyst, another is heterogeneous. So what are homogeneous catalyst, heterogeneous catalyst? Consider I am taking reaction A plus B gives rise to product in presence of catalyst X. If X, A and B all are in same phase, the reactants including catalyst, if all are in same phase, then the reaction, then the catalysis is called homogeneous catalysis. Then the catalysis is called homogeneous catalysis. If A plus B gives rise to product, here the reactant and catalyst if not in same phase, then the reaction is called heterogeneous catalyst. For example, if I am giving example of homogeneous catalysis, consider reaction 2SO2 plus O2 gives rise to 2SO3. This reaction can further increased, or rate of reaction can further increased by adding nitrogen monoxide. Here nitrogen monoxide is gas, O2 is gas, O2 is gas. Here reactant molecules and catalyst all are in same phase, so these are called homogeneous catalysis. Then come to heterogeneous catalyst. For heterogeneous catalyst, N2 plus 3H2, nitrogen is gas, hydrogen is gas, but we are taking iron as catalyst to form ammonia. So iron is solid, nitrogen gas and hydrogen in gas. So reactant molecules and catalyst are in different phase, so these are called heterogeneous catalysis. Then what are theory of catalysis? That means mechanism of catalysis, how catalysis occurs. So we have two theory of homogeneous catalysis, that is intermediate compound formation theory, and another part is theory of heterogeneous catalysis, that is adsorption theory. So what happens in case of homogeneous catalysis? Here let us consider a reaction A plus B gives rise to AB. For this reaction, first reactant A will react with catalyst to form AX, and AX plus B gives rise to AB plus. So here catalyst first react with A to form AX, that means it is inter. So this reaction breaks down into two steps. And AX plus B gives rise to AB plus X. So the catalyst will diffuse away. So here catalyst does not consume in the reaction, since the one step reaction is here is the plus B, that means here the reaction intermediate is formed. So what happens in case of a homogeneous catalyst? In case of homogeneous catalyst, a catalyst enters into chemical combination with one or more of reactant, forming an intermediate compound, and then decomposes or combines with another substance to produce the product. That is, this catalyst X enters into chemical combination with one or more of the reactant, forming intermediate compound AX, and then it undergoes decomposition or reacts with another reactant molecule to form product AB, and the catalyst again diffuses away. So this is intermediate compound formation theory, and intermediate compound formation theory is applicable only and only for homogeneous catalysis. If I am giving example, let us consider 2SO2 plus O2 gives rise to 2SO3, and this reaction is carried out in presence of NO. For this reaction, here the catalyst will react with oxygen, NO plus O2 gives rise to 2NO2, and this is our intermediate. So here the intermediate will react with another molecule of SO2 to form SO3. You can easily balance the equation. So this is step 1 and this is step 2, and NO is diffused away without being consumed. So this is the example of homogeneous catalysis, how homogeneous catalysis works, how intermediate compounds are being formed. So these are the basic things about intermediate compound formation theory. Then come to next part, theory of heterogeneous catalyst or adsorption theory. In case of adsorption theory or heterogeneous catalysis, what happens if the catalyst is present in a different phase than that of the reactant? This is called heterogeneous catalyst, and these are called heterogeneous catalysts. For example, if I am taking N2 plus 3H2, presence of Na gives rise to 2NH3. Here nitrogen is gas, hydrogen gas, but iron is solid. So it is heterogeneous catalysis. So what happens here? The mechanism of heterogeneous catalyst is, what happens, the iron surface this is the surface, and these are these are these are the valency, cavity of surface. These are the cavity of surface. Let us consider, I have to explain the reaction A2 plus B2 gives rise to 2AB. So first, the iron surface contains large number of cavity, and the reactant molecule A2 plus B2 diffuses, reactant molecule diffuses toward surface, By diffusion, what happens? So reactant molecule diffuses towards the reactant molecule A2 and B2 diffuses, that will comes towards the surface, and they are gets absorbed on the surface like this. And gets absorbed on the surface. Here what happened? Adsorption of reactant molecule, adsorption of reactant molecule forming loose bond, is it is also called one type of van der Waals attraction. So in the next step, A and B will react to form new bond, and the bond between AA and BB breaks. What happens here? Means occurrence of chemical reaction forming intermediate. In the next step, the product molecule AB will gets desorption. Product molecule gets desorption to vacate the cavity. Is again the cavities are vacant, and it can again adsorb the reactant molecule, that is A2. So in case of adsorption theory, what happens? The first step involves the reactant molecules diffuses towards the surface and they form loose bonds. Here, after forming the loose bond, the bond between reactant AA and BB breaks to form a new bond, that is between A and B. Occurrence of chemical reaction forming an intermediate. After the formation of intermediate, the product molecule gets desorpted. So again vacating the surface of the catalyst. So these are all adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalyst. So what are the mechanisms involved in the above? What are the here mechanism? First step is diffusion of reactant toward the surface of catalyst. This diffusion of, next adsorption of reactant molecules on the surface of catalyst, occurrence of a chemical reaction between the reactant and the catalyst which forms intermediate. Next step is desorption of product molecule from the surface because of lack of affinity to the catalyst surface, by which the surface is now available for the adsorption of new reactant molecule. And next step is diffusion of product molecule away from the surface of the catalyst. And what are the advantages of this theory? Only a small quantity of catalyst is required as it is regenerated again and again. The catalyst does not take part in the reaction, but its mass and composition remains unchanged at the end of the reaction. If catalytic poison are present, they preferentially gets absorbed onto the surface of catalyst. This hinders the adsorption of the reactant molecule, which we have already discussed in case of nitrogen. Reaction of nitrogen and hydrogen to form ammonia. If we add small amount of carbon monoxide, then carbon monoxide preferentially gets absorbed on the surface of iron. So there is a small hindrance for the formation of ammonia. Then come to next part, the important features of solid catalysis. These are the feature, that is activity and selectivity. Activity of a catalyst refers to the capacity of the catalyst to increase the speed of chemical reaction. Activity of catalyst refers to capacity of catalyst to increase the speed of chemical reaction. The activity depends upon the extent of chemisorption. Activity depends upon extent of chemisorption. The adsorption should be reasonably strong, but not so strong that the adsorbed molecule become immobile and there is no place for other reactant to get adsorbed. Example, combination of hydrogen and oxygen in presence of platinum to form water is explosive reaction. But in the absence of catalyst, H2 and O2 do not react and can be stored like that for a very long period of time. So it is the activity. Next part is selectivity. Selectivity of catalyst refers to its ability to direct the reaction to form particular product excluding others. Example, CO and H2 form different product in the presence of different catalysts. Here COH2 gives rise CH4 plus H2O, COH2 CH3OH, COH2 gives rise SCHO. Here nickel is the catalyst, here Cr2O3 is the catalyst, here copper is the catalyst. So different catalysts form different product, but the reactant molecules are same. This is selectivity. Then come to next part, safe selective catalyst or zeolites. So what are zeolites? Zeolites are aluminosilicates. We have already known silicate SiO2 power N. I can draw Si. If I am removing one of the silicon atom and the silicon atom it gets replaced by aluminium, the silicon atom it gets replaced by aluminium, then this type of silicate is called aluminosilicate, and this is simply silicate and this is aluminosilicate. So what happens in case of aluminum silicate? These are the zeolites having micropore. this zeolite contains micropore on their surface which are specific in size, and these micropores are specific. So only a particular reactant molecule of specific size or shape can adsorb on the surface. So zeolites are also called shape selective catalyst. Zeolites are also called shape selective catalyst. The zeolite here, it is the zeolite. This zeolite contains small pore, and this small pore have specific size. Only a particular reactant molecule of specific shape and size can adsorb into these pores, and therefore zeolites are known as shape selective catalysts, and these are highly specific in nature. So the reaction taking place in zeolite depend upon their good shape selective catalyst due to their honeycomb like structure, that is small pore. They are three-dimensional network of silicate where some silicon atoms are replaced by aluminum atom, forming a aluminum oxygen silicon network. Zeolites are microporo aluminum silicate. The catalytic reaction which depend upon the pore structure of the catalyst and the size of the reactant and product molecules is called shape selective catalyst. The size and shape of the reactants and products molecules, the pore and cavities of the zeolites. So these are all regarding shape selective catalysis or zeolites. This is all about catalysis. In the next class, we are going to discuss about enzyme catalysis and Michael-Menten equation for enzyme catalysis. Thank you.